Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm your host, Jared Smith, and alongside me, we have Hunter Pitcoff and Matt Szczypiorski. Tonight, we'll be going over some potential trade partners for the top players in the NBA trade market. And fellas, tell me a little bit about what you have today.
So I think that the most likely guy to get traded is Andre Iguodala of the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, he has not played a single minute this season so far, but you're going to know what you're going to get out of this guy. He's a 2015 NBA Finals MVP. He's a great defender. He'll get some great minutes off the bench. I think that the most likely situation for him is that he gets flipped to a contender for a second-round pick. The Grizzlies are currently asking for a first-round pick, but I don't think they're going to get a first-round pick for a guy that hasn't played all year and is in the 30s. I think that the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Rockets will all be in on him, but I think the most likely situation for him is going to Dallas. They have a nice young core, and I think that he would bring a needed veteran presence to that team.
Definitely agree with you there. Can we get a hashtag free Iguodala trend going right now? Get this man off the Grizzlies. I want to see him play some basketball again. No, but in all honesty, you hit it there. I've been hearing too. Dallas looks like the option that the Grizzlies are probably going to pursue. He'd make a ton of sense, a vet on a very young team, like you alluded to, Matt. But I think for Iguodala, you probably don't want to get traded and probably want to get bought out so you can pick which team you want to go to. So rather than, having some team control yours destiny, I'd say, player empowerment, if you will. And Andre Iguodala probably wants to get bought out and pick which team he will play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, probably great defender, and I hope he gets some tick on the floor. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you have for me next?
The next guy I have is Kevin Love. Now, this might surprise some of you. He is on the trade block, I believe. But the tough thing for him is that he's in the first year of a 4-year mega contract extension, $120 million. Now, if he's going to get traded, he's going to have to get traded to a contender that is going to be willing to match the salary. So if they're going to have to give up a guy who's making similar money, I think that what makes the most sense for him is the Portland Trail Blazers. And I think they can do this because Hassan Whiteside, their center right now for the Blazers, he can easily be flipped because he's in the last year of his deal and he's making $27 million. So the salaries do match up. I think you throw in Whiteside in a first-round pick in either 2021 or 2022 protected, and I think that gets the job done for Kevin Love.
Yeah, definitely. And Kevin Love's already expressed his desire to want to go back home to the state of Oregon. So, of course, the Portland Trail Blazers, and they have the money to actually make it work, and in need as well. Another team I look at, though, is the Phoenix Suns. And I know Devin Booker's a young guy, but I think he's sick and tired of not making the All-Star game every single season, and that's because the Suns suck. So before he leaves, I think they need to make a big boy move, and perhaps getting a guy like Kevin Love is that move.
Yeah, but everybody loves that home cooking, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, who's next?
For me, I'm going to look at BB8, Bogdan Bogdanovich for the Sacramento Kings. Now, obviously, he is an integral part of the Kings, but they got a lot of mouths to feed. Buddy Hield just got a huge contract during this season. De'Aaron Fox is going to get a big payday this upcoming season. And then you even look at a guy like Marvin Bagley down the road. He's also going to get paid. Now, Bogdan, I know he's technically, a third-year player. He's 28, though. He's a lot older than what people think. And so trading him to a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Lakers, and Miami Heat, they can use a guard that can play, either guard spot, a guy that can dribble, pass, and shoot. He'd be a great addition off the bench for any contender. And if you're the Sacramento Kings, it may be hard to move on from him, but financially speaking, this is not a team that's typically in the luxury tax too often. So I think you may have to, make ends meet here and potentially ship him somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'd say the only reason he wouldn't get traded is because he is a third-year player, so that he would be entering restricted free agency next season. Mm-hmm. And I think the Kings are going to ask a lot for a guy who's going into restricted free agency. So if they do end up trading him, the team that gets him will be in a great situation because they'll be able to retain his rights in restricted free agency.
All right. I believe you'll have one more for me, correct?
Yeah, I got good old straight out of Compton, DeMar DeRozan here.
DeMar.
Now, he's low-key actually had a pretty good season, but he isn't a contract here. And you would think with the Spurs entering a rebuilding moment, a youth movement, if you will, they haven't done that in God only knows how long, well before Greg Popovich was even there. So I think he goes somewhere else. Some teams will look at the Miami Heat. They're aggressive to get another guy to pair up with Eric Spoelstra and them. You got a team like the Orlando Magic that's been begging to get him for quite some time. And believe it or not, there could be a Raptors reunion in place as well. They could potentially package a guy like Serge Ibaka and or a Marcus Gasol. They may be willing to give up OG Anunoby, which is crazy to think. He's a good young player, but it'd be interesting to bring back DeMar DeRozan, especially considering that Pascal Siakam is definitely due there now. So not only would he be going back to his former team where he was the all-time league scorer in Raptors history, but he had to take a backseat to the young fella there.
I think it'd be very interesting if he went back to Toronto. That'd be insane. I think that the only reason, again, he wouldn't get traded is similar to Kevin Love. He is making $27 million this year, so the Raptors would have to match that, or any other team that would trade for him, they'd have to match salaries. But I think it could get done just because the Spurs, as you said, are trying to instill a youth movement there in San Antonio.
We will continue to keep a close eye on all the player movement as the NBA trade deadline approaches this Thursday at 3 p.m. East Coast time. That's going to wrap it up here for Hunter Pitcoff and Matt Szczypiorski. I'm Jared Smith. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.